Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Average Joe Dividends YouTube channel. If you've been following this journey, welcome back. If you're new to this channel, please subscribe so that you do not miss future videos. Also, please click the like button to help grow this channel and get the word out on dividend growth investing. In this video, I'm going to go over all the expenses and income that I had in the month of March 2024. Pretty much a budgeting video, but a little bit different, and I'll show you that in just a little bit. So let's go over the expenses really quickly. Nothing out of the ordinary too much this month. You had more dependent expenses. I have a son who's going to college, so I help him out with some of his expenses every month. You can see here's my internet. Had to give somebody a gift. There's a birthday gift in there, and eBay, just some things I was buying for the house. Amazon, did a little bit of going out to eat and fast food. Usually I try to limit it, but this month was a particularly bad month for going out to eat, especially because of the Easter weekend. We'll get to that in a second. Also, still adding on to my drum set. Hopefully that is done here, and hobbies can be a little bit expensive, but I'll show you though I have quite a bit of a gap to make up for that. Here's my electric bill, and this is my mortgage payment. This is without property taxes though. Once those get assessed, it's going to be more in the $1,700 range when that's all said and done. And I also have a plan of adding on $100 every month. We'll see how far I go with that. So next month in April, this will be $1,400, and I've thought about actually paying off my mortgage. I owe about $182,000 on that. That's not a small amount, but I want to aggressively pay that down. So I'm going to start with that $100. So again, $1,400 will be next month. And let's see, I went out to see a local band, and so that was $40 for that, for tickets and a few drinks with a friend. And Costco, so that's groceries right there. Same with Walmart's. And had to pay a little bit on taxes, and this is actually, I bought TurboTax. I had a gift card, kind of reduced that a little bit, but then I think it was the state, they tack on a little bit more. There's another fee on there, the $25. And then here's I was talking about with the restaurants. My son was in town with his girlfriend, so we went out to eat a few times, and that got a little bit pricey, but not too bad. Here, gas in my car. I work from home. I'm very fortunate with that. So I think that was the only time I had to fill up in the month, was just that one time. So let's take a look at the grand total of my expenses. So just shy of $4,000 for the whole month of March, which is nice. Let's take a look at February and just see where I was in February. Much higher, because I moved into my new home. I had a home built, and I had some expenses like the movers and things like that, and also starting on that drum set, and my dependent expenses were higher, and also bought a brand new bed. So you can see those expenses were high, 66, but still I still had a gap though with all of my income. And actually this should be changed. This actually has W-2 income commingled. Before I wasn't tracking that, but this is pretty much my taxable income that was generated. I don't count like income generated within my 401k or IRA, because I'm not old enough to tap into that. So we'll go back to March though. So much lower than February. And let's take a look at income, which does include W-2. And I'm counting things like interest. You can see from Capital One, just over $21 in interest from there. And as you can see by my name of my channel, Average Joe Dividends, I invest in a lot of dividend paying stocks, and that's what most of these are, like KKR, Aflac. These pay quarterly, every 3 months. They're going to be paying me this amount and some, because what I do is I reinvest those dividends back into those companies, so I'll get paid more for each of these. And KKR, Aflac, Kroger, Pinnacle, Black Hills, these are all dividends. And one day I was fortunate, I picked up a dime and 2 pennies I saw, and so 12 cents. And what I do is I actually spend that. I will, when I go to Walmart, the grocery store, use the self-checkout, I'll put that 12 cents in. It'll reduce my grocery bill by 12 cents. Johnson & Johnson, that's a dividend. And Evidation, this is an app on my phone, and I get paid about 2 times a year from this, and it's $10, and it just tracks my steps and things like that. And it's legit. I've been using it for years, and get at least $20 a year just pretty much for walking. And then Synchrony Interest, this is my emergency fund. So just by holding my emergency fund, almost $300 right there. Southern Company is the dividend. And Swag Bucks, I do surveys most mornings, and it's a significant, added. Let's take a look and see here what Swag Bucks. Yeah, surveys. So this is a lighter month, and I only made $55 from Swag Bucks just from doing surveys. Well, I do it while listening to YouTube videos and just browsing on the internet anyway. So why not make some extra money? So there's the $15 from that. Amgen, that's a dividend, and then Amazon I had a return, so that will credit out partial, I think, of this purchase right here. Yum Brands, that's Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's a dividend right there. And Exxon, also a dividend. Swag Bucks, another $10. I take the $10 in cash, and it's paid in PayPal, and it goes right into my account, so it's actual money. Here's my first paycheck of March, and I made a bonus in there. I don't get many bonuses. 2 per year is what I make, and this is a larger bonus than normal, almost $2,000. So that was nice, and that really added to my bottom line for my total earned income there. So that's an unusual paycheck there, the $47.17. That's, of course, net of taxes, and it contribute to my 401k. Microsoft, that's another dividend. Prudential as well. Another Swag Bucks, that's surveys. McDonald's, $11.41, that's a dividend. Hershey's also as well. Realty Income, that's a monthly paying dividend. And Avista, dividend again. Found a quarter on the ground on the 16th. And then cash back for my credit card, I use an FNBO 2%. I think it's called the Evergreen credit card. So 2% of my purchases are paid back to me. There was $100 I took there. Duke Energy, that's dividend. And VXUS, this is Vanguard's International Total Stock Market Index. This was the dividend from that 142.02. Qualcomm, dividend. Home Depot, dividend. Swag Bucks, another for doing surveys, $10. BlackRock, that's a dividend. SCHD, this is a dividend. This is the largest one. I received $702.66. This is paid quarterly to me. And actually, SCHD had a lower dividend in Q1, which is normal. In Qs 2, 3, and 4, it's going to be higher. So I'll be over the $800 mark, likely in June, September, and especially December. Swag Bucks, more for doing surveys. VTSAX, this is Vanguard's Total Stock Market Index. Their Admiral shares, $279.60. Dividend. Sold something on Facebook Marketplace for $10. And then VU, another dividend. This is Vanguard's S&P 500 Index, $128.15. Then Nvidia paid me 16 cents for a dividend. And then eBay, I had a refund, had returned something. So that is the credit on one of the purchases on eBay, I think, for that. And then Waste Management, that is a dividend, $5.98. Same with Digital Realty, $7.98. This is a monthly payer here, BlackRock BST, $461.70, and this pays me that flat rate. But what I do is, though, I reinvest those dividends back into BlackRock, so I'm going to be getting paid even more than the $461.70 at the end of April. Here's my second paycheck. This is what my normal rate is. Travelers Company's dividend, $4.40. Same with Fidelity National, Union Pacific, Lockheed Martin, Broadcom. And then I found a penny to round out March, you can see. And this, of course, helped. My bonus helped. I get those twice a year, and it pushed me over the $10,000 mark. So unusual. Earned a lot more this month, and I also spent less significantly than February. So I'd like to be, under the 4,000. That's my goal, and I did that. And that was even with buying some things like some pieces for my drum set. And next month I'll have a little bit more for more drum stuff, and I should be done for a while, except for like drum heads, drum sticks, things like that. They're consumables that break. But let's go over kind of like the highlights, and I put those in here. I use one credit card right now as an FMBO card, and that's 2% cash back. And it works for me. I know some people who aren't disciplined, you probably shouldn't use a credit card if you're going to spend more with a credit card than you usually would with cash. But maybe I'm one of those rare exceptions. I only buy what I really need. And you saw there's no monthly bill for cell service. I use Mint Mobile. It works well in my area, and it works out to be less than $20 a month. And I'll leave a link below if you want for Mint Mobile if you want to sign up. I highly recommend it. And surveys, they pay me a total of $55 for the month. Total dividends were $1,446. So that's truly passive income that just paid me just for waking up in the morning. And the largest one was from SCHD, very popular ETF. Of course, what I'm invested in, that is not investing advice. That's just what I'm doing, and I'm just showing you the results of it. So for the drum set, there were 2 cymbal stands. That's what the bulk of those costs were. I had the higher than normal restaurant expenses that was due to Easter and my son being in town with his girlfriend. There's the $10 I sold something on Facebook Marketplace. I had an old pull-up bar I no longer use. It was one you use in like doorways, and I have a better one. It's like a standalone one in the garage, so I didn't need that. And just kind of let you know, I have no car payments. I have no student loans. I did in the past, or actually my ex-wife had quite a bit of student loans when we finished college, and we worked quickly to pay that off. And I went to a community college. I just have an associate's degree in computer science, and that's it. And I'm not a very high earner, and you don't really have to be, as long as you have that gap and you keep investing towards your future month after month. You see there, I spent around $300 in restaurants, which for me is pretty high. So we'll look at the pie graph here and how it breaks down. And housing, that was 34%. That's pretty safe. I think people say about 30 to 35%. I know a lot of people are spending a lot more than that in their living expenses, like 50%, which is crazy. And that's just because of the cost of things. The cost of things has just gone crazy. I haven't experienced a worse economic time, and I think that includes 2008, 2009, as far as trying to get a job and try to afford things. So it's really important to try to stay employed and work through this time, because hopefully it will get better, because I believe we're in a recession, but a lot of people don't agree with that. But I say the facts, and what you're seeing on the ground states otherwise. You can see here for groceries, 14% there. I'm trying to think anything large. Miscellaneous. There's a lot of things I just can't categorize, like the expenses I have from my son every month, and that'll be going on for 2 more years while he's in college. Restaurant, less than 10%. And utilities for my house, they've been surprisingly low. Let's take a look. So I have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, just a split entry home that I had built new. So it helps that it's new. And so I live in the Midwest, so it's still a little bit colder here. We're not quite into spring. So this is for my gas for heating, and also for heating water as well. And then here's my electrical. So you add that up, it was just over $200. And then in April, my last bill was, I think it was $123 for gas. So it's going to go down a little bit more, but I assume my electricity will be about the same-ish. We'll see, until I hit summer, because of the air conditioning costs. So these are going to flip. I'm sure the MUD is going to be lower because I'm just going to be really heating water in the summer, and then I'll be cooling the home. So those will flip, where OPPD will get higher, MUD will get lower. So to wrap up the video, let's take a look at, here's the total gap. So the gap between my expenses and income was over $6,000. And of course, what I'm going to do with that is, save part of it and also invest it back into those stocks where you saw over here. Not only am I reinvesting dividends back into these positions, I'm also buying more and more shares of those stocks too with my own money. And let's just take a look at my net worth breakdown. And Vanguard is where I have a taxable brokerage account. I also have an IRA there. And the total of that, rounded to the nearest $100 at the end of the month, was $425,000. At M1, I have an IRA. And this is mostly decades of work from a prior employer. And that's $631,900. So it was previously a 401k. And then transferred over to M1 since I don't work for that employer anymore. And here's my current employer, current 401k, $83,200. And then here's my emergency fund at Synchrony. You can see with the $74,000 got for interest there, almost to $300 there. And to me, I just don't know with my job. I could be laid off tomorrow, who knows, and I want to have a really good runway in case something were to happen, or maybe I can't work, something happens to me, like an injury or whatever. And then here's Capital One. This is more my account for money moving in and out of my account for expenses, things like that. So this isn't really my main savings. This is my main savings area right here. And then I have a M1 taxable brokerage account, which ended balance was $243,900. Of course, the stock market's been taking a dip the last couple days, actually last week, so it's below the 240 mark, but we'll see if it keeps going down, if it rebounds. And this is the brokerage account that I do the most of my videos on, where I'm buying more and more dividend paying stocks. And then this is the home equity that I have in my house. I put it in my net worth, even though I really can't do anything with this as far as helping me out. Owning my home does not help me at all with this. It doesn't add to my income. Actually, it's an expense. But everyone has to live somewhere, so you have to have a home or rent a home. So the total of my net worth is $1,593,000 even. And again, everything is rounded to the nearest $100. And the change from last month is my net worth just from February 2024. In 1 month, my net worth went up $44,400. And of course, that was just market gains. I didn't make $44,400 myself. And the gap wasn't that much either. It was gains in the market, things like interest and dividends as well, that contributed to that $44,000. That was the bulk of it. And then we really see a huge difference just in 1 year. Almost $300,000 my net worth increased. And that was not because of my income. It was my investments that were growing and just went up. I think the S&P recovered like 20% or close to it over a year's time, and that is my result right there, is because of that. Of course, some of it is because of gap, but my months are not like this. I don't have a $6,000 gap each and every month. Let's look at the gap from February just last month, and it was nowhere near that. Let's take a look. I should have that over here. Did I put it in a different spot? There it is. My gap was less than $1,000 in February. Let's take a look at my gap in January. I imagine it's much the same. It was a little bit better, $3,000. So, but again, my gap is not $6,000 every month. The reason for this year-over-year gain, again, is just because of the market growth. And we could look at next year comparing, 2024 when we're in 2025, there could be a net loss because you don't know what the market's going to do. But I believe, though, over time, over decades, that you will get market gains. But again, what I'm telling you and what I'm investing in is not investment advice. Just watch this, for entertainment purposes only. But that's pretty much all I had to show you in this video. My expenses, my income, and the gap. I think it's really important you try to get a gap, because if you don't have a gap, you can't invest into stocks or even save money. So that's my advice to you. Everyone, thanks for sticking to the end of this video. Please click the like button if you got any value from this video. Also, subscribe to the channel so you'll see my other videos. Like tomorrow, I do a weekly buy video. You'll see which 5 stocks I pick and I buy into, and I show you what that does to my average monthly income as well for dividends. So thanks again, everybody. I hope everyone had a great weekend. Everybody take care.